Greetings! I am Herbert Erpaderp, and it's Wednesday, so it's time for everybody's favourite Herbert Erpaderp inquiry-related internet thing. That's right, it's Ask a Herbert Erpaderp, with me, Herbert Erpaderp. In what is becoming a tradition, I have some World of Tanks gameplay as background video again. This is the best game I have played in the KV5, obviously applying my special give no fucks method. I'm pretty happy with the results. Speaking of gameplay, I have some good news. This should be the last gameplay in low quality graphics mode. I've just got a shiny new GTX 1060, so going forward I'll be able to make pretty looking gaming videos. I know a 1060 isn't the best card, but I couldn't really justify the cost of a 1070 or a 1080, no matter how much I want one. So with this news, you can expect more gaming videos from me. I've been playing a fair bit of World of Tanks with the shiny new goodness, and I'll be playing more things too. If you don't like gaming videos, well, you don't have to watch them. I'm sure you'll survive anyway. And on that note, I also have some bad news. Though I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that bad. But if it does cause you to die, then I didn't do it. It was Larry. Go see Larry. This coming Monday, there will be no modelling video. What the fuck? Calm down, you're going to give yourself skin failure. Consider it a kind of Christmas break. There are a couple of reasons. The kit I had planned for this Monday's video, which was a T-3485, turned out to be more complex and time-consuming to build than I had initially thought, so I decided to build the Plastic Soldier Company A10 and quickly made that video instead. I could get the T-34 video ready for next Monday, but I would definitely be rushing it and I don't want to do that. It's getting to that crazy end of year time, so things happen. Also, it's hot, and sometimes motivation to do anything is just really hard to come by. So rather than push it, and probably end up feeling burned out, I'll take a week off the modelling videos. So the next modelling video will be on Monday, January 2nd. It won't be the T-3485, it's something else. I think it's going to be really cool. Some of you will hate it, but I think a lot of you will get a kick out of it. My friend Elise rolled her eyes when I told her what I was doing, so that's how you know it's great. If you care to hazard a guess at what I'm talking about, put it in the comments section. Winners will get nothing, I guess. I'm fresh out of internet cookies. Okay, so with that rambling out of the way, in the customary Ask a Herbert Erpaderp tradition, I am now going to provide answers to questions and responses to some comments that have appeared on my channel over the last week or so. The first of which come from my KV5 Fucks and How Not to Give Them video. Impervide says, "Holy shit, I seen a player with your name the other week in a game, thinking it couldn't be you. I think it may have been. Lol, awesome." If it was on the Asia server, it was probably me. I know there is an imposter Herbert Erpaderp on the EU server though. If you are on the Asia server and you see me, do say hello. I guess that is if you're on the same team as me. If you're on the enemy team, you just can't say anything, and you'll have to settle for shooting me instead, which is probably more fun to be honest. Boar Harms says, "Awesome game. Soviets engineering at its finest. I noticed you removed the speed governor, as if the regular KV5 isn't capable of ramming enough. I like it. I have actually replaced that with a medkit now. I just wasn't using it, and it doesn't seem as effective as it used to, and realistically having the gunner or driver still alive is more effective. Anyway, I figure if the first ram isn't enough, you can always back up and ram them again." Kiro the Avenger says, "Yay for World of Tanks and their silly made-up vehicles." While it is definitely silly, I don't think it's quite fair to call tanks like the KV5 made up. It was actually planned and designed, just no prototype was ever built, which I think was because of the siege of Leningrad. I quite like the paper tanks they've included in the game. I think it adds a lot of interesting variety. Martin Strickfuss says, "Cool game. Your skills of the reckless tanks are great. Now show us a super frustrating game where you do care. In the name of science." Well, I do like science. And I do get salty at the game sometimes, of course. Who doesn't? But it's just not usually that interesting. I don't get that frustrated. Usually it'll be some moron parking behind me or pushing me out in front of enemy fire that pisses me off. I'll type something like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Or I might call them a mongoloid or something. I'll quickly insert my saltiest moment from today here. As you can see, I'm just cruising along in my Cromwell, not hurting anyone. Except that guy. Then, bam! Fucking artillery. To be fair, he was positioned pretty much directly in front of me. He very likely would have missed completely if he were to the side. I just don't really care that much. Over the years, I've gotten pretty good at being mindful that it's just a game. If I do start getting annoyed and taking things too seriously, I know it's time to stop playing. It's usually because I'm tired or I have low blood sugar, so it's a good idea to deal with those things rather than keep playing to my own detriment. Technical issues though, those piss me off so much. It's fair enough if my tank explodes, but if the game crashes or something just doesn't work properly, grrr. I think it might be funny to make a video of Herbert's salty moments, or something like that. One day, maybe. It probably won't be that great though. Now for comments from last week's Ask a Herbert Erpaderp. The Agile Aardvark says, "Congrats to successfully learning how to pronounce Moise." Jacob adds, "I hate dem peoples who say Mars." I'm one step closer to being able to speak German. Go me. I actually took German at school, though I have forgotten pretty much everything. The teacher used to get really angry at my friends and I for drawing tanks in the books. It also annoys me when people say Mars. It's like they're talking about the planet Mars. Get your ass to mouse. Joe's Model Kits says, "Do you have a real-life job, or are you supported by the work you do online, these videos and voiceover work?" At the moment, I don't have a job. It kind of sucks, but it does allow for a lot of time to do things like making videos, which is still kind of hard work sometimes, but it's much less soul-crushing than a real job. In Australia, we can get unemployment benefits as long as we are actually looking for work, which is pretty helpful. When I do get a new job, I'll probably have to cut back on the videos, but I won't stop. I did manage to do multiple videos a week while I was at my last job. I would really like it if doing YouTube videos and voiceovers could support me. It's not something I expected to make money from. Well, I expected to make money doing the voiceovers, that was the entire point of that. But the money I get from YouTube is a nice bonus. Though this year it's only been a few $100s, definitely not enough to live on, or even cover the cost of the Adobe software that I use. Maybe next year it will be more, and maybe eventually this can be a job. But if I did set out to make YouTube a job, I think my content would be much different. On this topic, it would be silly not to say, if you do want to help out, there's a link to my Patreon in the description. Give money please. Lord of Midgets says, "Can I have my ball back please?" No, it's my ball now. My ball. Art Nichols says, "You make me laugh every episode. I think I have your sense of humour. I like beer I don't have to pay for. Of course, I like beer I have to pay for too. Actually made me laugh out loud for real. You've got my sense of humour? Can I have it back? I'll trade you Lord of Midgets' ball for it." Top Bunk Productions says, "What is your opinion on the British TV show Doctor Who? As you can tell from my avatar, I love the show. Though in my view, the writing quality has been going downhill for the past 3 years. I really quite like Doctor Who. I haven't watched much of it lately, but I've seen some of the newer episodes with Peter Capaldi and I've enjoyed them quite a lot. Though I like Matt Smith a little bit better. I never really got to watch Doctor Who growing up, so David Tennant is my first Doctor. My mum tells me she was terrified of the Daleks, so she never watched it when I was a kid, and so I was never really exposed to the show until I could go and seek it out myself. It's a good show though. It's obviously a little bit cheesy, but that's not a bad thing. I guess I don't take it seriously enough, or feel attached enough to it to get annoyed by the writing. I know a bunch of people that get really pissed off about it. I just enjoy it for what it is. A fun, silly show about a man in a blue box that travels through space and time. What more could you want? Hansol Kang says, "Hey Herbert, my family is going to visit Australia in January except me. They say they're staying mostly in Melbourne and Sydney for a month. Which places would you recommend them to visit? And what stuff do you suggest as souvenir?" Good question. I've never been to Melbourne myself, but I do hope to make it there for PAX one year. The only times I've been to Sydney was with my band. I was drunk on arrival, and for most of the time I was in the city. I spent some time being hungover too. One time we were there, somebody we were staying with made us the best souvlaki I'd ever had, and there was some very tasty mead, but I have no idea what's good to see. I mean, there's the obvious stuff like Taronga Zoo, the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge, but other than that, I don't really know. I guess souvenirs depend on where you go. There's probably plenty of cheesy stuff that says Australia on it in the gift stores. Maybe some Aboriginal art or something would be cool? I guess it depends on what they like. My suggestion, as cheesy as this is going to be, is just make good memories. Those are always an excellent souvenir. Neo Bragg says, Herbert Erpaderp, can you please do a quick tip vid on airbrushing models please? I do plan to do some airbrush stuff soon. To be fair, there's a lot of good and helpful airbrushing stuff out there, and beyond the basics, I'm having trouble thinking of videos that I can do that aren't already done better by others. F-Drum B-Drum says, can you build a KV-1E and paint it? It's my favourite tank and would love to see it. That's a good idea. I don't actually have any models of a KV-1, and I feel like I should do something about that. I hope someone makes a plastic KV-1 in 28mm scale. I don't think that's the case though. I'm pretty sure Warlord only offers a resin and metal model, and Rubicon don't have one. I will of course also have to get a few in 15mm scale. It's not going to happen in the next couple of weeks, but sometime. Shaloof? Greetings, Comrade Erpaderp. Do you plan to collect World War III tanks like Yim Tanky? I don't know if that's an intentional typo, but I'm amused by it. Also, you were saying way too often, I am an adult. This makes me suspicious. I would like to get a hold of some Team Yankee models. I'm not quite so excited by the more modern equipment in Team Yankee, but I do like some of the tanks. The Leopard 2s look pretty cool. I am totally an adult. No need for suspicion, friend. I am certainly not 3 kids on each other's shoulders in a long coat. Not at all. Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it! Gustav 2 Adolf says, I want to see more World of Tanks on your channel. Also, do you still play Minecraft? I enjoyed your good old house tour and would love to see more videos about that game. Waiting for my biscuit, just 4 to 8 weeks to go. You will definitely see more World of Tanks. I have at least 2 World of Tanks videos in the works right now. Well, not right now. Right now I'm recording this voiceover. You know what I meant. And I haven't played Minecraft for a while, but I think it's one of those games that I won't ever not play, if you know what I mean. I think it's something that I will always enjoy, and I pick it up every now and then. I just don't constantly play it. I think I'd get burned out. I believe the server I built my giant hole house on is no longer running. I have been thinking of playing again though. I might just play it single player, not on a server. I guess we'll see. Digger Steve says, are you excited for the movie Dunkirk? I really am. I saw a trailer for it the other day and damn do I want to see it. It comes out in the middle of next year, which is so far away, but I'm definitely going to see it, probably on opening night. I tend not to get too hyped about movies, because that's the best way to be disappointed by them, but it does look like it's going to be a really good movie. Warrior Mies says, I'm going a bit overboard here. I'll suggest that if you are reasonably competent with technology, you could try buying a relatively cheap 3D printer and making scenery pieces or even vehicle models with it. I've had one for quite a while, and just recently decided to try 3D printing a 1/72nd scale tank model, and I'm positively surprised by the results. Even small details like rivets printed fine. And even if you were to decide the quality is too bad for models, it will definitely be fine for simple terrain pieces. I have pondered on getting a cheap 3D printer a few times. It's definitely something I'm interested in. Those things are just getting better and better, and I think it is inevitable that I'll get one. I don't think it will replace actually building kits, but I can see it being super useful, especially for making replacement or alternative parts for models. It might even prompt me to try some more 3D modelling. At the moment, my biggest problem, besides the cost, would be finding an actual space I could put the thing. One day though, one day. Martin Strickfuss says, I have some questions for the next one. What is your favourite beer brand? What is your favourite food? What is the most expensive model you have? Are you a boobs or a butt guy? I dare you to answer this one. I don't think I have actually drank beer or any alcohol for almost a year now. I don't really have a favourite beer. I'm diabetic, so I usually go with whatever low-carb beer is on offer. Failing that, I choose whatever has the most interesting picture or name. I like whale ale, that's a nice one. It's probably not surprising that I'm indecisive with favourite beers, or food for that matter. I really like burritos. My friend and I always have trouble deciding what to have for dinner because choosing food is hard, especially when there are so many good options. I mean, I do really like burritos, but I also love curry. Pizza is awesome too. Now I'm hungry. The most expensive model I have is easily the 15mm scale Rat. It was more than $300 Australian, understandably because it's a huge chunk of resin. I did actually have a job when I bought it, otherwise I would never consider it. And I am definitely a butt guy. Though really, I'd say, why not both? And with that, this week's Ask a Herbert Erpaderp shall draw to a close. You might even say this is the butt of the video. That was terrible. Well, I'm tired. Terrible jokes and bad segues happen when I'm tired. Stick around for more videos. There will be another video before Christmas, but Merry Christmas anyway to those of you who celebrate. Everyone else have a happy and safe holiday time too. Be sure to do all the YouTubey things like clicking the thumbs up button, subscribing and sharing and so forth. And of course, if you want to see my videos a little early, along with some other bonus patron-only content, you can head over to patreon.com and become a patron. It would be rather helpful. There's a link in the description, or you can click on the Patreon logo on screen now. I shall return next week for more Ask a Herbert Erpaderp. So until then, happy modelling, gaming, or whatever it is you're doing, and of course, thanks for watching. Farewell.